And off we go. A meaningless but nevertheless important Champions League match has kicked off here. It's Shenzhen and Saitama United, and the winner will avoid finishing bottom of the group, and that is something that is really, really important if I don't want to look like a right old fool, taking a respectable Chinese club to dead last in a Champions League group. A win is the only result that will do, and it's an early chance of Peng Chang-ming, but unfortunately that was a toe poke and it went miles over the top of the crossbar, and that was a poor free kick taken by Saitama. And now the play resumes for Li Shenglong. Can he pass it to his teammate? He can, but it was too late to be legitimate thanks to that offside. And now straight down the other end we have Shimada Moyarama, and good block from the defender, but giveaway has reset the play for the Japanese club. Shimada Komoto. These guys are not meant to be good, you know, fellas. We have to do better than this. I really wanted to win the Chinese, or take a Chinese club to this tournament final, and maybe even win it, but this is certainly a pipe dream. But at least Li Shenglong has something to say about that. It's his second Champions League goal overall and only 3 for the season, but that gives us a bit of confidence, so let's encourage this. Keep going. Here's Nishikawa Kitano. Good shepherding by Francois, and there we go. Shenglong just needs to pass to Chang-ming. Here we go. Oh, he's missed again. Peng is not up to this task at the moment. Nishikawa back to his keeper. Won by Zinglan, but not towards a teammate. Francois loses the ball as well. Nishikawa crosses low, and that's going to be Moyarama. But thankfully it's offside. I was distressed about that. Passion needed. Come on. We need to win this if we can. Zinlin, left foot, and Tanglong beats the keeper to the ball, and that is actually his first ever goal in a Shenzhen kit, and that, well, has no importance apart from not being humiliated. And there we go, we've won the game for definite. Shenglong makes it 3-1, and we can get on with our lives now. And Ulsan, where is it? 1-1. Yeah, typical. Okay, here's Francois, Zifei, Zonglin, Shenglong tackle, wins the ball back, and that's his hat-trick. That's a wonderful way to end the disappointment of this campaign. If only we got a result out of Ulsan in that other game, it would be us on the 10 points instead. But that's the way it goes sometimes. 4-1, a great piece of revenge, and perhaps we're not such a terrible Champions League club after all, but it really does make me think what to do next. There we go. I believe we could have won 4-1 in the other game if we actually tried. Here's Zinlin, last chance. No. Sun Yi, Zonglin. Oh, never mind. It's 4-1. Game well and truly deserved for us. The Saitama guys did their best, but not good enough. But yeah, we'll head back into the main menu and talk about the Chinese Super League season as well. Yeah, so that's the way it goes. My 100th game in charge ends in a victory, but Seoul defeated Meizu, but Shangang got a result out of Buriram United, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, or Buriram. Yeah, so I think that puts them into the next round, which really sucks. Like, I really should have done better in this group, but I've no excuses apart from feeling terrible and licking my wounds. So Shangang, have they qualified from Group E? That's a big achievement if so. Hang on. No, they haven't. Oh, so close. But Shangang, Meizu and Shenzhen are all out of the Champions League group stages. But I welcome you officially to episode 56. But again, I was expecting to win that game, but the fact that we lost in Japan, it just gave us no shortage of stress. But we had to beat Ulsan home and away to stand a chance of qualification, and that did not happen. But either way, Central Coast Mariners qualify unbeaten, and I have to say well done to them. let me just see. So we get a bit of money anyway, but we're not going to be rolling in the cash by not qualifying. But that's just the way it goes. So well done, Lee Shenglong, hat-trick hero. But anyway, let's just take a look at the results since we last met when this 3-1 devastation took place. So we really were caught out by that loss as we took on the league leaders and were beaten by 2-1. Liu Yi and Fen Jin scored 2 goals with the last 15 minutes just on the horizon, but they deserved it. They were so much better. And then we got 1 goal back with Karadzic, who came on in the 71st minute, got 1 back, but it was never going to be a victory. But we have won twice in a row by keeping 2 clean sheets as well. Peng Changming was the hero in that game. 2 goals for him in the second half. And a bit more clear cut against Changchung, Karadzic and Yi Nuo, who scored an own goal, helped sway that result. So we're in great form again. We should beat Yanbian even though they're doing superbly well. It's then the matter of Shandong and then Shangang. Those are the games we need to win to prove we can defend the title. And then Quanxian, the team I want to get my payback against, they'll be my next livecom opponent, and they are really struggling in this campaign. So after 9 league games, this is the outlook of the table. Ren have finally lost to Changchung of all teams. They are still the team to beat, but Shenhua are now on their tail, and we should hopefully get the first place back in no time at all. But look at Guangzhou, Shanghai and Beijing. They're all neck and neck trying to catch up to me, and Guangzhou are the hardest team to beat in the top 5 anyway. You look at Shandong as well, they're in good shape. But you look at Meizu, despite the Champions League, you know, being a heroic campaign for them, I have to say something terrible has gone wrong with them, and they find themselves dead last. And then Changchung are basically better off on goal difference there. Anything else I need to mention? Yeah, I do have some things to mention. I'll get to them later. But you know, the squad, we're starting to have a full deck of cards to play with. But we have Tao Xian, one of our good centre backs. He's out injured. Ma Yubin will be back soon. Li Chao has been excellent for us in recent times. He scored the 2 goals against Meizu, but in the last 2 games he hasn't quite lived up to the same standard. But we'll be looking forward to have Ji Ming Hao back. Wang Zihao just a little bit rusty. Radaby is back, he's fully fit. Zheng Long not doing too much at the minute. But then Geng Zonglin is fully fit. So we have a good selection of players again. Then in terms of my loyalties, there are some very tasty jobs opening at the minute. These are insecure jobs. You can see there was a Sydney FC, and you can see here the Central Coast Mariners manager is not quite safe despite a really good Champions League, as of course his team find themselves second bottom in the A-League and have 0 chance of reaching the grand final knockouts. So that's the job I would take if it was offered to me. It sounds very cruel to abandon Shenhua like that when we could win 2 league titles in a row, but that's the tricky part of the Pentagon challenge. Do you dive at a club that's doing well and hope that they can maintain that success, or do you stay with a club that have been struggling, you make them great, and then they just can't quite reach that level as quickly as you'd hope? So Sydney FC are not in the Champions League, so I won't go for that job so quickly. But in terms of actual vacant positions, nothing much there, although it would be deadly to go to the Mexican Primera Liga. That would be something I really want to do in this challenge, but it's not going to happen at the minute. But either way, we'll go back to how we had it before with the finances. They're still very, very healthy. We're making good cash. Haven't had to spend too much of the money this season, but if I have to buy a few more players in the transfer window, then that's what I will do. But relievingly, the FA Cup, we don't have to play in the tournament until the 4th round, whereas I'm used to having the big pile up of games in June. That's not going to be the case this time around. We do get a bit of a break in between these two games. But then Guangzhou, I want to get revenge on them, as of course they beat us on the opening day 2-0. So there's plenty to be optimistic about here at Chensha, even though the Champions League, I expected to get out of the groups, and it has certainly gone wrong. But if I win the league, it'll look really good for me. I'm doing a sensible enough job, like I have the useful reputation, and if we win the league again, I'd say that could increase by a little bit. But we'll just take a look at some of the quick stats while I have you here. Overall, let's just check them out really quickly. So the goalkeeper, Dujia, has played 10 games and he's done very well. Tax Yang is the most used outfield player. Top scorer is Peng Changming on 6. Shenglong has done himself a big favour, getting on to 5 goals. Karadzic kind of struggling away there, but he has 3. And then my new signing, where is he? Zuzhen, he has 2 goals, but he's actually assisted 3 times, so he's not entirely out of my plans yet. Ziyang has 4 assists, the most out of anybody. Man of the Match award, Peng Changming has 2, but a lot of the players have 1. The best passer is the goalkeeper, Du Jie, on 85. Li Chao and Sun Yonggang and Wang Zihao all have 80%, but I have the most respect for the 2 guys above. Yellow cards, I'd say we've had a lot of yellow cards. The 1 red card for Tax Yang. And average rating probably belongs to Ziyang, is 7.23 over 8 games. That's not too bad, but Peng Changming is certainly making his case noticed. And then Shenglong, 7.14 average rating. Down at the bottom, Ma Yuban has been really poor, 6.47 average rating. You wouldn't think it was that bad, but he hasn't adapted well to the Champions League. It was a regret of mine having to play him in that tournament, but hopefully he improves later on in the season. Sun Yonggang, 6.72, Daniel Mullen, 6.76, and Kai Hui Kang, 6.76 also. That's really disappointing. And then the player of the year last season, where is he gone? Yang Kuo, he has 7.16, so he's not quite hitting those incredible numbers like he did last year. But anyway, that'll conclude this episode. We'll go straight into the Quanxian livecom after the mid-season break, and I hope that we can get our revenge on them after they put all 6 points into their pocket at our expense. As you can see, we've never beaten them in the league. That has to change if we are going to win the league title for the second time. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.